Brad Meltzer, you are a man of many formats. You're a best-selling author, you're a TV host, you have apps. Is that what it takes for best-selling authors to get their work out there nowadays?
You know, I think anyone who's an author today has to have a little bit of Barnum in them. And you know, it used to be you write your book, you put your genius out there. It just doesn't work like that anymore. Everyone is their own self-promotion machine. And you know, we're a culture that walks around with our own newspapers in our pockets, right? We tweet our editorials and we put out our opinion pages every day on Facebook and Twitter and anywhere else. And I think that's just the lay of the land today, for better or for worse.
And that's causing the death of the local bookstore and almost hardcover books. But you're coming out with a line of hardcover books, children's books, called Ordinary People Change the World. Is there money in these kids' books?
I love that you get right to it. Can you make?
This is a financial channel.
I know it's financial, but you actually asked the same question that like the 70-year-old woman asked in Boca Raton, which is like, you get paid for that, you know? Like, but the truth is these books are my heart in book form. If I were a smart guy and it was just about the money, I should write another thriller. They pay me far more. That's what pays my bills, and I'll buy my private jet with that. Like, that's the way to do it. But I want to inspire my kids. I am Abraham Lincoln and I am Amelia Earhart are ways that I can give my kids better heroes than a dumb reality TV show star. And they need that.
And you can still expand on this, right? I guess you can do cartoons, or you can get apps on the web. Is that what the plan is for these line of books?
And listen, of course we talk about those things, and the goal is if they succeed, you know, we are working on an app for it. My thing for me personally is I'm tired of watching my kid on that friggin' iPad. Like, I watch my kids on that, I'm fighting them off it. The only way I can get them off their iPad, I got to present them something better. And if it's not better, then I can't expect them to leave it. And to me, this is it. I'm going to give them the best story I can find through history. Will it work? I have no idea, but I'm going to try.
And as someone who's really attuned to the changes in the publishing industry, what's the next big disruptor? You've seen the iPads and the Kindles really take away hardcover books. You've seen iTunes and all these other varying ways of distributing books via the web take away the local bookstore. What happens next?
Well, you know, it's interesting. What ebooks did is they didn't take away hardcover books. They actually took away paperbacks, because that's where the price differential was. So you saw a book, people would say, I'll pay $25 for a hardcover. I can wait a year and I'll pay $10 or $8 for a paperback. But now with the $12 ebook, it ate the entire paperback market. The big disruptor that's next to me is when the next author figures out how to do it himself or herself without that publisher. That's the disruptor, because all of technology does what, right? It puts all the power in one person's hands. And for publishing, the great fear is, you know what? Do you need a publisher if you don't need a warehouse? If you don't need to print, if you don't need stock, if you don't need to worry about inventory? The real disruptor is when
a guy like you, when a Brad Meltzer, or Michael Connelly, or Stephen King says, I'm just going to do it without your publishing house?
And listen, I've spoken to Mike, I know them all. Like, that's going to be the disruptor, is when you see a guy who just says, you know what? Here's my publishing program, boink, and you hit the button. And that's going to be when you go, that to me is, I think, what the publishers are worried about. But at the end of the day, the one good thing is that a publisher will always serve as someone has to sort through the mess. And maybe it'll be the public who figures that out, and that's what will happen. But to me, right now, what the smart publishers are realizing is that their power is not so much in marketing anymore, which of course it has to be, and that's what they provide, but it's also trying to find quality, because people want a good story. No matter what goes on, the one thing that will maintain over and over is a good story.
All right, kids love these stories, so thanks a lot for publishing them. Thanks a lot, Brad.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you for watching The Street.